one of the list was all perennial fruit trees, and we did not feel that that was what we were going to talk about and how it would relate to the average gardener, because it's not like you're going to go put up a apple tree and get a bunch of apples, right? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, but for the most part, and I don't know, Batavia, but I think it was almost everything on a tree was dirty, is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, yeah.
You,
There's a like a bit of a conversation around. I've never grown fruit from a tree, but I've watched some people do it online, and it seems to get quality, what we consider quality, smooth skin fruit. It takes quite a bit,
yeah,
quite a bit of intervention. So I'm not surprised, like just quite literally seeing, year one, two, three, four fruit produce, and folks are kind of like, oh, these apples are gnawed on.
yeah.
How do I keep the worms out of them? And then the next year it's like, well, I'm gonna do this spray and let you know how it works.
Well, so that's
Uh,
the whole thing about the Dirty Dozen is, yes, they use pesticides, but the pesticides aren't really for protecting the health of the crop. They're more so for protecting the looks of the produce, which is a damn shame that we are so, I don't know the word, you can insert whatever word you want, but that the human race is so worried about what their produce actually looks like. And I'm not really talking about our listenership, because I know if y'all pull out some funky ass vegetable out of your garden, you're going to cook it up and eat it. You know what I mean? But most people would not. Um,
yeah.
we are not sponsored by them, but I've mentioned Misfit Vegetables or whatever before, and they sell these messed up vegetables and stuff like that. If you are affiliated with them, reach out, because I really like that. It's a good thing to do. You know what I mean? And it brings a lot of education to the average person.
I used to have a subscription, not to them, but to another very, the exact same type of company. Ugly fruit, ugly produce, and the imperfectness of it all.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because you probably had an option of choosing weekly deliveries for sure or bi-weekly deliveries. And I remember at that time, and this goes back, I lived in this house. So it was at the same time when had a garden, maybe not the same season, but I felt like, I really couldn't keep up with it. The irony in that, like a box of
Yeah.
produce I couldn't keep up with.
How dare you? Okay. So let's start on this list.
Hmm.
All right. So the idea here is it worth it to grow it? You know, is that something that you want to go down that path and try and correct? Meaning, is it, does it outweigh as the benefits outweigh everything else? So the first one, which is interesting, is strawberries. What do you say?
Dude, strawberries and I don't think this is on the list, are similar to corn in my mind, in that, gosh, it's so finicky. I've been growing strawberries on and off for probably the better part of 15 years, and I've never felt like I've had a strawberry harvest worth writing home about.
No.
And I do think a part of how, like, a true strawberry patch is what even a single person, a single individual that wants to eat strawberries would need. So I say that to say, similar to corn, it's like, oh, the effort that it takes, the space that it takes, I could basically buy it from the store. Enter, what type of strawberries am I buying from the store? Then you go with the quality of what you get from the store, even if you get the clean, air quote clean, maybe organic version. It, just I don't know, dude. I
Well,
don't.
I can tell you no, plain and simple. I hate growing strawberries. I hate it. That's the biggest letdown I've ever had. I had the biggest dreams of having like a perennial strawberry patch that was just, you could kind of depend on. And I've tried multiple times and it sucks. No, the strawberries were amazing that we got, but none of them were of any size. is way too much effort. So I don't think so.